Hello all, welcome to session 23 of the PySpark series. Basically in last two sessions, in session 21 and session 22, we have started with aggregations in PySpark. And in last two sessions, we have seen simple aggregations. So simple aggregations is where, we are like considering data as a whole, right? For example, like the problem statements that we have solved, like find the total count of employees, okay, in the organization, average salary of employees in the organization, maximum salary, minimum salary, okay, or sum, right? So this is where like we have understood um, how to use simple aggregations when we consider the data as a whole, right? Entire data we are considering here in this case, okay? Now, in last session also we have seen how to club, I would say, all simple aggregations in one. For example, whatever results we have found, right? For example, average salary, maximum salary, minimum salary, whatever we have found separately, right? We got all the results in one data frame, right? So that also we have, if you see this, right? If you can recall, we have achieved in one one single step, right? Now, in session 23, what we will do, we will start with grouping aggregations in PySpark. So, in grouping aggregation, what happens is definitely from the name we can understand it considers, you know, any I would say a particular entity, okay, any particular let's say it can be the city, it can be state, okay, or it can be department as a group, okay, we work on a group. For example, the sample problem statement to start with, okay, if I write, let's say we have, we'll first see the data, okay. We have our data stored here. It is the same file, right, that we are using throughout like from all last sessions, okay. I'll quickly create the schema. I just don't want to. The reason I'm spending little time in creating this again and again is I don't want to keep the code written already and just run it in front of you, right? If we face any errors in between, right, you should be able to understand. So that is the reason I'm not writing any code, okay, before we start the session, okay. So first is I think employee name, okay. Oh, sorry, employee ID. It is this data. I think we have it here. Let it open. Yeah, this is the data. Employee ID, employee name, salary, and department. Okay. So it is employee ID, integer type. Okay. Then I have three more columns. Okay. Okay. Employee name, which is string type, right? Employee salary. Okay. Which is, let's say, long type. Okay. And employee department, okay, which is integer type. That is fine, right? This is the schema I have created, and I have to create data frame. Simple, using spark.read, okay, dot format. What is that? CSV dot option. What is the option? The first row as header, right? You all are aware, so I'm going a little fast. Now, schema, we have created emp schema, right? Dot load. Sorry, dot load, right? So I'll just put the file path. Okay. What I'll do, emp df dot display, right? So this is where we just created the data frame. Okay. As I said, I'm not writing any code, before starting the session, so that we do it live here. Okay. And understand if there is any issue that comes in, we should be able to understand that together, right? This is the data we have. Now, for example, in last session, what we have found is we found, let's say, total count of employees in the organization. Okay. Now here, what if I want to find total, let's say, employees in the organization department wise. Okay, department wise. So what I want to find out is, let's say my department one has how many employees. Okay, my department two has how many employees. My department, three has how many. My department four has how many, and so on. Okay, so a number of departments we can have. What I want to find out is department wise how many employees I have, right? So here what is happening? Here we are grouping based on each department. Okay, we are grouping based on department column. Okay, so what I'll get, maybe as output I'll get, for department one I have this many employees, department two this many, three and four. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are grouping based on department. Okay, so that's why it is grouping aggregation. Okay, so now how to work actually on PySpark to find the grouping aggregations. Let's start. Okay, so in basically in simple aggregation session we use select expr and all these things, but here and in session 22, right, we said we will, for aggregations we will go with um, dot awg, right? So that we will continue in upcoming sessions as well. Okay, so what I'll do, empdf1 equals to employee df. Okay, dot. Now what I said is we have to group by, we have to group by what? I have to group by what is employee department, right? Right, that is my grouping column. Okay, group by employee department dot aggregation. Now it is same as what we have written before. Okay, F.count, F.col, employee ID. Okay, what I want is alias as total employees, right? Let's run this. So what difference we are doing here? For example, if I remove this, okay, let's understand what is the result we are getting. What has happened? Incorrect symbol. Okay, right? EMP DF1. So this should be the result of simple aggregation. Simple aggregation, we got this result, right? We got one result for entire organization, right? Total employees in entire organization. Now to get, let's say, uh, total employees department wise. Okay, what change I have to do is I have to just group by based on employee department, right? Let me give this employee df2, right? So employee df2 dot display, let me display, right? See, this is how grouping aggregation works. Okay, what it has given us, I told you when we saw the data, department, right? And department and count, right? That way it has given employee department one, how many total employees in the department? 30. Department three, how many? 34 employees. Department four, how many? 3 employees. Department two, how many? 48 employees, right? And let's say here, let's understand one more thing. Now this is like random data I have got, right? This is department 1, 3, 4, 2, right? What if I want the data sorted employee department wise? Okay, so we already have seen, you know, the order by transformations, right? So what we will do, how to club the order by with grouping aggregations? I'll show you. What we are doing is group by, let's say, employee department, right? Dot aggregate, right? F dot what count, right? F dot, let's say, Okay. F dot column, which column? Employee ID, right? Dot alias total employees, right? Total employees, right? And now what I have to do? Order by. Order by. Order by what? Which column? Employee department. Okay, right? And for ascending, you all know we don't need to specify anything. We can specify also, and we it is fine if we don't specify. That is also fine, right? It will order that in ascending order, right? Hope now you remember how many ways we have seen when we were working with order by, right? empdf3 dot display, right? See, now it is ordered by employee department. So that is how we club. Let's say if we want to club order by to aggregation, that's how we do it, right? What are the ways we saw in order by, if you can remember? Okay, ascending equals to true. This is the one way we saw, right? Then if you remember the another way, I'll just show you quickly, just for your revision. Okay, first is for ascending, not specifying anything. Second is ascending equals to true. Okay, third is what? F dot asc, if you remember, right? Let me make it df4. Okay, if I display dot display, okay, right? And what is the another way, another approach we saw in order by? If you can remember, it is dot asc, right? Dot asc, dot asc, right? Let me put it empdf5, right? empdf5 dot display, right? So this is how we learn actually, right? Whatever we have learned earlier, right? If we can recall that as it is, right? If we can recall that very well, like we saw for ascending, there were four different ways we can achieve that. Okay, for descending, there are three, right? Because here definitely we'll need to specify ascending equals to false, right? Fine. This is how we work with group by. Okay, grouping aggregation. This is, let's say, one of the examples that I have given. Okay, and this is how we club sorting. Okay, in grouping aggregations. Okay. Now, as per our habit, let's do one thing. Let's see how to achieve the grouping in Spark SQL as well. Okay, grouping aggregation. Same we have seen with simple aggregations also, right? So I have this employee. What I'll do, spark.sql. So at a time, we are learning both higher level APIs, PySpark data frame also and Spark SQL also, right? So select what I need now. How to approach this? I need employee department column here. Then what I want? Count. Count of what? Employee ID as total employee from employee, right? Group by what? Employee department, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm just using dot group by. Okay, okay, and aggregations, I'm using count function itself, count function itself, right? Same I'm using here, right? In SQL, right? And display. That is how we work together with both higher level APIs, right? Now here again, see, results are not sorted. Okay, now how to do that? How to combine, sorting and grouping aggregations also in Spark SQL is, I'll let you know. Now you know, like, how we work when we did sorting in Spark SQL for ascending and descending, right? Here what we will do, we will just combine both of these, okay? Count of employee ID, sorry, count of employee ID as total employee, right? From employee, what I have to write first? Group by employee, department, order by what? Employee, department, right? I have to do order by in ascending order, right? That's why I'm not specifying anything over here. Okay. Same we did in PySpark data frame. Okay. One more way I can achieve ascending, okay, is employee, department, ASC I can specify. Okay. And for descending, I have to specify DSC here, right? Can specify, okay, DESC, right? So I'll get the high, the highest employee department first. Employee department 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And here what we have done, we have sorted based on employee department. We can sort based on total employees as well. Okay. Let's say you want, for example, you want um, the department with higher number of employees, right? So how you will achieve that using PySpark? Okay, let me show you. Empdf is equal to empdf, okay, dot group by, okay, emp department, right, dot aggregate, right, f dot count, right, f dot column. What is the column? Emp, sorry, it is emp id, right, dot alias total employees, right, dot, what I have to do is order by f dot call, which column? Total employees, right? Total employees, and how? Ascending equals to pulse, right? empdf6, okay, dot display, right? So which is the department having highest number of employees? It's department ID 2, right? Now, hope you remember how there are two more ways to achieve descending order, right? I'll just quickly copy the same and I'll show you if you recall that. Okay, just a revision. Okay, the first is f.desc. Okay, f.desc, right? Huh. If I display this, it will give me same results as this, right? Again, employee department 2 has 48 employees, and one more way. Now we have used f.desc. Now we can use only .desc, right? I hope this was good revision. It just struck my head, right? That we use this many number of ways we learned while we were working on sorting, right? Display df8 dot display, right? So this is how I think this is the session where we have just started grouping aggregations, right? We have understood how, let me go to the top. So the first result, I think we have achieved this simple aggregation. We worked on entire data. We found total employees in the organization. Now what we have done is we have just added group by, okay, grouping by employee department. Entire code remains the same. We just added group by. Now what I have got is number of employees per department, right? That's what I have got. And Then what we have done, we have just did sorting. Okay, the sorting we did on employee department also, and on this aggregation also, total employees also, right? Right, and this like all these transformations, group by, aggregation, order by, we have written in same data frame. Okay, so this is called as chaining of transformations. Okay, you don't need to create separate data frame for let's say this aggregation one data frame, and then for this ordering another data frame. No, not needed, right? What it will do is it will create intermediate data frame. For example, this one will be an intermediate data frame. Okay, on this data frame this transformation will work, right? So this is called chaining of transformation, right? That is how generally we work when we are working in live project, right? And then we, for just for sake of revision, we have seen how many different ways we used when we learned you know sorting. Okay, sorting in PySpark and Spark SQL. Well, okay, and same problem we have solved using Spark SQL as well, right? Fine. I think that everything for this session. Okay, in next session, what we will do, we will solve three, four more examples, right? Same examples that we have saw in simple aggregation. We will solve them using grouping aggregations, right? Fine. That's everything for this session. If you feel this is useful to the community, do like, share, and subscribe. Okay. And if you have any suggestions, do let me know in comment sections. I'll definitely implement those. Right. So everything for this session. Thank you so much for